Captain's Starlog, March 31st, 2017. Welcome back, guys. I'm Captain Foley, and this is Trekyards, and more specifically, a Captain's Log. So, before we get to the topic of today's discussion, let's show you something that came in the mail today, which is kind of exciting. I got my South Bend Enterprise. Now, this was an Enterprise that was built in 1979 for the release of Star Trek the Motion Picture. See there. This was sent to me by Ken Stokes, who I purchased it from. I was lucky to find it. I found it through the Trekyards channel, so thank you, Ken. And it's just fantastic. It's in great shape. There's no yellow. Well, there's a little bit of yellowing, but not too bad. A little bit of yellowing around the ring and stuff. But overall, it's a fantastic piece of Star Trek history. The electronics still all work and everything. The dome lights up, the sound works. And in case you're wondering, the South Bend Enterprise is reconfigurable. So you can detach the struts and the nacelles and the secondary hull and reconfigure it into different configurations, like a single engine nacelle, single engine scout ship. You can put them on the bottom and make it like a tug or like a Miranda class. You can even have them sticking out of the secondary hull downwards, which has kind of a Chandley look from FASA. So it's a great toy. It's hard to find. It's one of the, I think it's one of the holy grails of Star Trek collectibles. And like I said, this is in fantastic shape. The only issue, missing one of the RCS thrusters stickers, but I'm not complaining about that. I will be doing a full review on this in a separate video, so you guys can check it out. I'll reconfigure it, put it in its different looks, and give you that in that other video. So check it out if you're interested. But absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased as punch to have this added to my collection. So thank you, Ken. I'm just glad I found one in such great shape. The only issue is it didn't come with the instructions or the box, so I'm still on the lookout for those. So if you know anybody that has the South Bend Enterprise box or instructions that wants to get rid of them, let me know. I will definitely be interested. In the meantime, however, I did print out the instructions, and on the bottom there it shows the different configurations, different suggested configurations that you can go with. So I did print them out. It's double-sided. It's got all the sticker placements, all the warnings, the assembly instructions, the operating instructions, the battery installation instructions. All that is there. So I thought I'd add that to the, even though it's not the original. Now, one thing I got to point out too, this is molded after the Phase 2 Enterprise, before the motion picture Enterprise refit was actually finished. It has the original more circular dome at the top and the little shuttle pod attachment points, or airlocks, on each side of the bridge module here, which aren't seen on the refit. It does have the one at the back still, of course, but this has the more rounded TOS style BC deck and bridge module that was later changed by Andrew Probert to become what we see in the refit. It does have the refit engines, thank goodness, because I'm not a fan of the Phase 2 engines, how they look. So again, awesome addition. Now, in doing some research earlier today, I stumbled across something which I found fascinating, and I wanted to share it with all of you guys. As you know, with Trekyards, I use a lot of older reference materials and research materials in some cases to, you know, liven things up and maybe share some stuff with you that you might not have been aware of. So I was going through my Star Trek role-playing core manual, core game book, and I came across something in regards to AXANAR, which I really wanted to share with you guys. And this hasn't been, I haven't seen this mentioned anywhere else in regards to like Alec Peters' AXANAR. Surprised nobody's brought this up. This is actually another version or another story of what happened at AXANAR, and in regards to Garth and Captain Kirk, because we know they were there. So I'm going to read you this, and hopefully you guys will really appreciate it. The AXANAR Rebellion. The Federation faced its worst internal crisis since its foundation over the issue of AXANAR's application for UFP membership. The AXANARI, a proud people with a rigidly hierarchical social structure, all but demanded membership in 2252. They pointed to their interstellar spaceships and tight sense of discipline as hallmarks of their development as a civilization. Their application split the Federation Council. One faction, led by the Centaurians and Vulcans, argued that the AXANARI class system was too oppressive. Its lower castes lived in virtual slavery. Besides, the AXANARI didn't technically qualify for membership because their ships weren't propelled by true warp technology. Other members, spearheaded by the Tellarites and Andorians, argued that the Federation had never turned down a willing applicant, and that it had no right to interfere in the internal affairs of its would-be members. AXANARI leaders took the question about its status as an outright rejection, and, offended by the mention of their inferior technology, decided to prove their worthiness. They conquered several neighboring worlds and presented them to the Federation Council as tribute. Ambassador Tapavis threatened to pull Vulcan out of the Federation if the AXANARI aggression went unchecked, and Andorian Ambassador Farsha, seeing a grave threat, added his argument to hers. This stand swayed the more cautious members. A fleet of ships, commanded by Captain Garth of Izar, hurtled towards AXANAR to demand their immediate withdrawal from the conquered planets. A series of deadly engagements followed, pitting the numerically superior AXANARI fleet against the more advanced Constitution-class vessels of the Federation. Garth's tactical brilliance, bolstered by the bravery of his Starfleet crews, carried the day for the Federation. The AXANARI surrounded and abandoned their conquered planets. Their leaders resigned in disgrace, leaving new officials to negotiate peace terms with the Federation. Captain Garth proved as gifted in peace as he was in war, negotiating an agreement which laid the grounds for a future alliance. One of the junior members of the Federation delegation was a cadet on the USS Republic, one James T. Kirk. Kirk, despite his low rank, ended up taking a decisive role, uncovering an old guard assassination plot against the new AXANARI leadership. Kirk was awarded the Palm Leaf of AXANAR Peace Mission during the treaty signing ceremony. So there you have it, guys. The true story of what happened at AXANAR. It was a rebellion and uprising against the Federation, all over membership of the AXANAR people, known as the AXANARI, which are cool. Now, I went to look up AXANARI on Google, and AXANAR's ruined it for me because there's no such... All you find is AXANAR stuff, just pages of it, which is fine. There is a picture of an AXANARI in this book. It's a Starfleet member, crew member, and they look like humanoids. They look like humans, basically, with man buns, which is strange. There is more about the AXANARI in here that I'm going to get to in just a second, but yeah, finding any information on this older stuff is pretty hard to do, considering AXANAR's popularity online. So I'm doing my best, guys. So the AXANARI. The AXANARI claim a dubious distinction as the only people to have joined the Federation after going to war with it. The AXANARI see the AXANAR Rebellion as both a hideous misunderstanding and a historical turning point. For centuries, the AXANARI lived within a rigid caste system in which the lower echelons were virtual slaves. The massive failure of the elite classes, who first misunderstood the Federation significantly to think they wanted some planets conquered for them, and compounded the mistake by refusing to back down when otherwise informed, caused great social upheaval on AXANAR. A bloodless revolution and social awakening, to use the AXANARI term, followed. They abolished their caste system almost overnight, chaotically selecting new leaders from all classes to negotiate peace terms with the Federation. After a period of proving their good intentions, the AXANARI overcame the mistrust of the Federation Council. They gained admission to the United Federation of Planets 4 years ago. They now strive to prove themselves as worthy contributors to the Federation, working to atone for their blunders of their old leaders and old systems. They have good reason to worry about the mistrust of colleagues. Any Starfleet officer as old or older than Kirk probably fought against the AXANAR fleet and well remembers comrades killed in the fighting. Some AXANAR carry around gigantic chips on their shoulders, always ready to take offense at perceived slights. They hate the old regime that got them into the war with the Federation and go to great lengths to distance themselves angrily from it. Others sheepishly curry favor with other Federation species, hoping to prove that they're friendly, thoughtful, and not at all the reflexively warlike conclusion jumpers they've been made out to be. The crucial blunder of the AXANAR rebellion may be rooted in AXANARI physiology. A variety of large predators with highly sophisticated camouflage abilities hunted the ancient hominoid ancestors of the AXANARI. In response, the AXANARI evolved acute perceptual abilities, especially in the area of pattern recognition. These senses allowed them to spot predators and then assisted in the development of intelligence. Today's AXANARI see, hear, and smell better than most intelligent species. Their brains process perceptual information at a phenomenal rate, allowing them to identify the hidden patterns in what they see. This process looks like amazing intuition to others, but there's nothing psychic about it. Alas, if there's no pattern to detect, they'll often find one anyway. No AXANARI language contains the phrase, "I don't know." When you ask an AXANARI a question, he makes a definite judgment one way or the other, even if insufficient evidence exists to draw any conclusion. He then treats his inference as conclusive fact and stands on it with absolute certitude. This sense of certitude led AXANAR's people into violent conflict, which ultimately led to forcible institution of the old caste system. AXANARI now face an identity crisis. Their changing social systems and attitudes don't provide the bedrock certainty the AXANARI brain craves. Most AXANARI feel lost, desperately searching for new certainties. Many hope to find these irrefutable truths in the Federation and in Starfleet. Physically, AXANARI are tall humanoids with varying complexions. A fine, whitish, dust-like secretion covers their skin and protects them from the high radiation levels of their homeworld. AXANARI body and head hair comes in a wide array of bright colors unknown to human heads: violet, electric blue, Kelly green, fire engine red, and orange peel orange. Head hair is long and thick, allowing AXANARI to twist and braid it into tall, sculptured castles of hair. Perhaps by contrast, they wear long, plainly decorated robes. AXANARI throw themselves into any task with gusto, but perhaps not much forethought. They fight eagerly, preferring to hurtle pell-mell into their foes, scattering them through sheer aggression and enthusiasm. They may have thrown off the caste system, but centuries of ingrained behavior don't vanish overnight. They respond almost joyfully to the exercise of strong authority. Woe betide the officer, whoever, who attempts to order the AXANARI to do something that contravenes their personal list of certitudes. AXANAR's new heroes include Durama, the high caste who first proclaimed the death of the old system, Kwaza Kakazi, the former low caste who now leads the planetary government, and Namil Ruhard, the first AXANARI to take a commission as a Starfleet officer. So you have it, guys. Little bit of new facts about the AXANAR and perhaps the true story of what actually happened at AXANAR, the Battle of AXANAR involving Garth and Captain Kirk. Interesting. I thought I'd point it out to you guys. Take from it what you will. Hopefully you enjoyed the little history lesson, at least according to this. There is still the FASA supplement for the 4-Year War, which is the Battle of AXANAR, which is what AXANAR and Alec Peters took their idea from, which is fantastic. The FASA stuff's really good too. But I thought it was interesting to find this, and I thought it was worth pointing out to you guys if you didn't know about it or weren't aware of it. It's definitely something that is of interest and something that I think needed to be shared. So there you go. You know the story of the AXANARI and the rebellion against the Federation, and now are members of the Federation. So now I did do a little bit more research on AXANAR in my Star Trek Chronology, The History of the Future, written by Michael and Denise Okuda. And it's worth pointing out that there's a little segment in here about it too. Starfleet Captain Garth wins a majority victory at planet AXANAR in the year 2250. So a little bit off from what we read there. That was 2252. But anyway, and AXANAR, ironically, is spelled A-X-E-N-A-R here. Afterwards, James Kirk, apparently still on the Republic, visits AXANAR, now spelled A-X-A-N-A-R, on a peace mission. The operation is a major achievement for Garth in overall charge of the mission. Starfleet awards Kirk the Palm Leaf of AXANAR for his role in this assignment. So there you have it. Another little nod to AXANAR. It's funny that they spelt it wrong, A-X-E-N-A-R, and then the very next mention of AXANAR in here is spelled A-X-A-N-A-R. However, in the back, if you're looking up the in the index, if you look up AXANAR, it's A-X-E-N-A-R again. So I don't know what's up with that, but there you have it, guys. So thank you for joining me. Please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like, share the video if it interests you and you think other people might be interested by it. That would be very beneficial, and we would appreciate it. So on screen you'll see a little Trekyards logo with me and Samuel. Click that to subscribe to Trekyards. If you see a little bubble that has just me in it, that'll be for my personal channel, as I want to kind of diversify and kind of, you know, post other stuff that's not Trekyards related, and I don't want to clutter up the Trekyards YouTube feed with stuff that's irrelevant to Trekyards. So click that, please, so I can get my subscriber count up. That'd be amazing, so I can start posting other great stuff. And yeah. In the meantime, I'm going to go and film a review for this, and it should be up in a day or so, and you can check out what exactly I think of the South Bend Enterprise from 1979. A fantastic find and a great addition to my collection. So until next time, guys, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.